don't recall a time, if there ever was one, when I questioned whether or not I belonged in college, or social groups in college or academic groups. Actually, that might be a different thought. Socially, I certainly never struggled. Never had a feeling like I didn't have a group to go to. That's largely in part because I was heavily involved in extracurricular activities. I was in sports, and I was also in some academic organizations like the Business Student Association. I was in some ethnic organizations. Actually, the Latino Business Association, Student Association was one of those. I was also in a music group and in a band and geology club, which eventually became a major for me. And so I had a lot of people to reach out to in a social aspect, and many groups to socialize with. So I never felt like I didn't have a place. Some days I felt more strongly tied to some groups than others, but there was also enough activity. There was always enough activity that I felt like I was in the right place. I felt comfortable. But I think an unfortunate and unintended consequence of this involvement was that my academic performance suffered a bit, because I was so heavily involved that it took a lot of time away from studying. And yeah, I saw a decline in my grades and in my performance. And in retrospect, I think I tried to do too much in too little time. And while at the time that was fun and it felt great and I was in an awesome place, looking back, I certainly did not perform academically to the level that I know I can. And again, unintended consequence of trying to find the right place. And it's definitely stirred up the gears in my head, thinking about, can I say anything? Can I do anything to help them transition, especially the newer students or incoming students? I don't think I would attempt to do anything addressing a class or at the beginning of the semester with my entire class, but I do think I could come up with a way. I haven't yet, but I think I can come up with a way to help my students feel comfortable in a one-on-one situation. So when they come to me with questions or issues, perhaps share a little bit of my experience. I struggled through college and in the academic environment, and I certainly wish I had reached out more often to not just colleagues and classmates, but teachers and TAs, and that's something that I would definitely encourage. I think it's a healthy thing to do, and I think I will try to be better about facilitating a comfortable environment for them to ask questions and to really express any concerns they have. So I think it's important to reach out and maybe change the mentality that, hey, just because you're not performing at what you think should be your best level doesn't mean you can't, or that you're not as smart as you thought, or whatever else might come with those thoughts.
Yeah, in a way, it's almost like that's what being involved academically would be. Like, you can be involved socially and have a bunch of response, but being involved academically means you're going to office hours, you're harassing your TAs to get your questions answered, because that shows that you're care and you're concerned for the material. And
yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah, I will encourage my students to be involved both socially and academically. It's definitely something I've thought rigorously about before, but certainly now will.